Ezra Levant here for Rebel News. We just landed, as you can see, in Cork, Ireland. That's the second largest city in this country. It's almost noon. We've been on the plane for, well, it's been 12 hours since we left Toronto. We flew to London, switched airplanes, and flew from London to Cork. There's no direct flights, obviously. The reason we're here in Ireland's second city is to see what the mass populist peaceful protests against overwhelming immigration looks like. Of course, we've covered this in Dublin. We've also covered protests in tiny towns and villages like Dundrum. But we hear this is going to be a big one today. I look forward to seeing it. I don't know County Cork well, but I like what I do know. They have the famous Blarney Stone in the Blarney Castle, which if you kiss the Blarney Stone, it gives you the gift of the gab. Finally, I'll be able to say what's on my mind. So I'm going to try and visit the Blarney Stone because I've been so shy my whole life. Hopefully this will let me overcome my fear of public speaking. But we'll only do that after the big rally. We don't want to be late for it. It starts in a couple hours. I've learned that County Cork is called the Rebel County. Well, isn't that funny? Because that's one of my favorite words. In the case of Cork, it's rebelling against outsiders, rebelling against foreign domination. For example, this is one of the places where the rebellion kicked off against the Brits. And I always wonder, where is that rebellious spirit? Because, of course, Ireland is being colonized again with massive migration plantations, as they're called. And the answer is, we'll see it on the streets today. I have to tell you that I've been covering the story of mass immigration in many countries. I've been to Marseille, France, where I've seen masses of Algerian immigrants. I've been to the Netherlands, masses of Moroccan immigrants. Of course, I live in Canada, where we're overwhelmed. But I find the immigration policies of Ireland so abusive. For example, I mentioned the tiny village of Dundrum, population under 200, and the government just put 240 military-age migrant men in this little village, more than doubling the size of the village overnight, outnumbering the Irish. Just an astonishing, abusive move of, you can only call it colonization. So I've never seen a government so abusive, but I've never seen a people so rebellious and peaceful, but angry. And to see that populist fervor, something's cooking here. All that's missing, I think, is for it to coalesce behind a particular political party. In the United States, of course, Donald Trump is the build the wall mass deportations president. That, I think, remains the number one reason he won in 2024 as well as 2016. In the United Kingdom, Nigel Farage is surging in the polls because of his campaign motto. As you know, I covered their by-election there. The motto was freeze immigration, stop the boats. That's a pretty blunt statement. Same with Marine Le Pen in France. Same with Geert Wilders in the Netherlands. It is Ireland that is the most abused through mass immigration, and yet all the traditional parties remain on the globalist open borders agenda. I just don't get it. There are, however, little green shoots. There are politicians that are managing to get elected, at least in a local scale. For example, several councillors in Dublin that we've been speaking with in our visits. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of leadership emerges. Conor McGregor, the great mixed martial arts fighter and a bit of a global representative for Ireland, who in fact visited the White House on St. Patrick's Day, he has been making sounds about running for president, which generally is a ceremonial position in Ireland, but it carries with it a bully pulpit. And Conor McGregor, in fact, in recent days has been talking about how if he became president, he would use the moral authority of that office. And he is very much against mass immigration. Could he be the Irish Trump? Could he be someone who takes his reputation from other fields, his household name? He's a bit of a celebrity. He inspires people, especially young men. Could he be the person to get in front of this parade that's already marching? We'll find out. I'll keep you posted on this, and you can see all my reports at migrantreports.com. Hey, how are you?
Just stop filming. Sorry for what. Just turn it off. Have you permission to film here today?
Oh, hi, Ezra Levant here. I am in the heart of Cork right now, what they call the Grand Parade. This is where in about, an hour and 5 minutes, the anti-immigration march is set to start. However, counter-protesters have already arrived. You can tell who's on whose team by what flag they carry. The Irish nationalists, as they would call themselves, the ones who want to stop mass immigration, they carry the Irish flag. That's the orange, white, and green one. And the Antifa, they bizarrely have the Palestinian flag. I see one or two Irish flags amongst them, but I mean, take a look right there. It's dominant, the Palestinian flag. And I think I even see, well, I was going to say I thought I saw a Hezbollah flag. I'm mistaken. Lots of keffiyehs here. Let me even point out the library itself. It's not flying the Irish flag. It's flying the trans flag, but they're out of date. They don't have the O on it, which I think stands for autism or something. And you see that giant circle there, sustainable practices? That's the UN ideology. It's basically the UN's political flag. I'm told by Irish that Cork, in the heart of the city, is quite woke, and I think we can see a bit of that. I'm hoping there won't be any violence. I know there's a lot of Irish police here. They're called the Gardaí. So far, it looks like both sides are keeping it cool. You can see down there some of the nationalists mustering. No Palestinian flags there. Anyways, I'm here on the scene, and besides the pro-Irish and pro-Palestinian camps, there's just a lot of severely normal Irish people going out and about in a lovely part of town. It's spitting rain, so we'll see how the day goes, but I'm having fun already. Follow along at migrantreports.com. Hi, everybody. Normally, I'm at the front of these marches. I'm sort of at the back because I was engaging with the Antifa side so much. I want to show you a little bit of how big this march is. There's my bald head. Let me just turn around a little bit. This march goes on for blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks. It's an absolutely enormous march. It wouldn't surprise me if there's tens of thousands. I'll have more reports for you later in the day. Go to migrantreports.com. Hi, everybody. Ezra Levant. I am in the heart of Cork, Ireland's second city. You can see I am surrounded, absolutely surrounded by Irish people flying Irish flags. It's very different to the counter-protest I just left, where you could barely find an Irish flag, but there were lots of Palestinian flags, transgender flags, and government labor union flags. It's an interesting divide in this country. Oh, sorry, thank you. And the police were out in force, standing between them. This march is a sequel to the march in Dublin about 5 weeks ago that drew more than 50,000 people. And I'm not near the front, so I'm going to hold this up high to try and show you the scale of this. I don't want to make an estimate because I'm in the middle of the crowd, but it would not surprise me if, like the Dublin protests, this had tens of thousands. I won't make a calculation until I see drone footage. And I'll keep you posted. Go to migrantreports.com for more.